Rabbi Aaron Boxt here once again for my podcast. This week I have a couple of things I want to talk about, I want to mention, and I'm hoping that this can spur some conversation out there in the world. I was on my way to our final college visit for Carly yesterday with her, and we were talking about the different generations, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation, or the Millennials, the Xennials, and whatever the other, they're all called. And we were talking about, going back 50, 60, 70, 80 years, the baby boomers, and even before that, talking about the world as we see it today and how it is today. And it was interesting. We were talking about uh, uh, you know life for, say, a high school student 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, as opposed to a high school student today. And we were of course discussing the many different problems and challenges that existed for high school students going back forever, basically. And that, the problems that, or the challenges that occur for high school students, number one, we should always admit that there are always going to be challenges for high school students. It's just the nature of being a teenager. Um, but the varying types of challenges that are around are different from generation to generation. And we were trying to figure out, and of course we didn't come up with an answer, although we did agree on a few things. We tried to figure out, which generation messed up the kids the most. Was it my parents' generation, the generation before them? Was it my generation? Looking at the challenges that are present, is it really the fault of the parents or the grandparents? And I said, I jokingly commented that I wouldn't want to be a teenager today. And Carly was a little bit shocked, and she said, "Why?" And I said, I can't even imagine handling the different challenges. And honestly, I don't even know what those challenges are. I see the stress about college and about all the different extracurricular activities and wanting to do this and wanting to do that. I mean, I had a job when I was in high school. I was in band. I was in drama club. I was active with my youth group. I did a lot of things when I was in high school, but I never felt like my life was so overwhelmingly jam packed that I didn't have time to even think or for myself. And I feel like this generation's kids, they're so overwhelmed with programming and trying to be the next best, what. And it stresses me a little bit, and I can't imagine what it would be like. And I don't, not to say that being an adult is easy, by all means. We have our own challenges, but um, I guess every generation's teenagers probably think that they had it harder than anybody else, and that's, again, nature of being a teenager. Teenagers think that their life is the worst it could be when it gets to be bad, and it's the best it can be when it gets to be good. So I guess we're just going to be in that place where every generation is different, and every generation has their own challenges, and that's the way that it is. But it's interesting because Carly's going to be a senior in high school next year, and she has to pretty much make the decision in the fall, at the latest winter, where she wants to go to school. And I feel like I didn't have that much pressure. Now, I'm not to say there weren't people my age when I was in high school that were pressured, but I applied to three schools. I got into all three schools, and that was it. And the only college visit that I did was when I went to the University of Georgia to interview or to audition for the School of Music. So I was there for like overnight and a day maybe. Um, but I feel like there's much more thought put into these kinds of things today. And maybe it's because, you know, I've always joked about the fact that when I was in high school, it was a big deal to go to college. It was a big deal to get your degree because for a lot of kids my age, maybe we were the first or the second of a sibling set, maybe, to go to college, to get a college degree. Not always the case, but in many cases. But I feel like today, so many more people are going to college that, not to say that getting a college degree isn't amazing, it is, but it's the next thing. Graduate degree or a professional degree or some kind of specialty degree is the way to go now, as opposed to quote unquote just a bachelor's degree. Um, it's an interesting dynamic to think about. But these are the kinds of things that I think about. These are the kinds of things that I discuss with my daughter, and my wife too, obviously. But it's those car rides to college visits give us a lot of time to just chat about things that we may not even think that much about, or maybe we think an awful lot about. We just don't talk about them. It's an interesting situation. But this week we here at the Ocala Tree of Life Sanctuary, the Temple Beth Shalom, we are welcoming in Sisterhood Area Day. We have over 50 people coming, Sisterhood members coming from the southeast to our building for what will be a wonderful day of learning and socializing, and just an opportunity to celebrate the women of the sisterhoods and their amazing contributions to the Jewish world. We also have our final week of religious school this Sunday, which is amazing to think about the fact that we've been here for a year. I mean, technically, we got here July 1st, but as far as the religious school year is concerned. And, we've done a lot of really good things this year at Temple Beth Shalom, and I'm looking forward to next year and the years after and all that comes from in the future. It really is bright. We're growing as a congregation. We've got growing religious school, and just a lot of really good positivity here, and good things to look forward to in the future. Well, that's it for me today. I hope that you have a rest of your good week, or a good week, and I hope you have a wonderful Shabbat Shalom this week. And I'll see you back here next week, same time.